The 2024 Olympic basketball headlines have been focused on the super team that LeBron James built for Team USA, comparing LeBron James to Nick Fury.
And all of a sudden, within a day, we're hearing that LeBron James, a.k.a. Nick Fury, is calling up all the superhero friends to bring the team together.
He assembled his Avengers. The team is insane and packed with all the NBA superstar talent that you would expect. Due to the King James recruiting efforts, Team USA instantly became the favorites to win the gold medal in the upcoming 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. While the world was focused on the Team USA Avengers and discussing their biggest competition, such as Team Canada, led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jamal Murray, Team France, led by Rudy Gobert and Victor Wembanyama, the Joker back on Team Serbia, and the Greek Freak back to being a freak in Greece. Meanwhile, South Sudan coaching staff Royal Ivey and Luol Deng were building an underdog Avenger Punisher squad. An electric team with the God of Thunder himself, Thor. JT Thor, Marial Shayok, Carlik Jones, Wenyen Gabriel, and soon-to-be Duke Blue Devil, Khaman Maluach. This team walked into a matchup against the United States squad on Saturday as an overlooked underdog. USA coach Steve Kerr was the first to admit this game was overlooked and the team didn't prepare for this matchup as much as they should have.
I did not do a great job preparing our team. We did not focus enough on what they're capable of, and that's on me.
JT Thor put the team on his back with seconds left to steal the victory.
It's Thor for the lead! How about this team?
Without a masterful LeBron James layup, the Sudanese team would have pulled off the major upset. But how was this possible? It was the first year South Sudan has been represented in the Olympic Games. This squad has 0 current NBA players. They represent a country that has had to absolutely fight for everything they are given and powered entirely by pride. Let's explore this team's inspiring story and how they became the Olympic basketball's best-kept secret. January 2011, excitement, energy, and hope entered South Sudan when they voted to secede from Sudan and become their own independent state. This referendum was from a peace process that was to end one of Africa's longest-going wars. This hope was cut short when in December 2013, civil war broke out in a power struggle between the political elite. This civil war waged for 7 years and led to the deaths of over 400,000 people, millions of people displaced from their homes, and nearly the whole nation facing severe food shortages and risk of hunger. Even after a second peace deal in 2018, this nation faces daily challenges and an uncertain future. Despite these continuing humanitarian issues, South Sudan has grown a rich basketball history and love for the game. South Sudan is home to NBA alumni Manute Bol and Luol Deng. But even with this pride and passion for the game, building a basketball infrastructure and a team for a new nation proved nearly impossible. South Sudan's top players didn't physically live in the country due to their families being forced to flee during civil fighting, with players scattered throughout the world in places as far as Australia and Anchorage, Alaska. That allowed many players to possess dual citizenship. It was challenging convincing them to commit to this new national team when they could try for more established ones. As South Sudan gained independence, Luol Deng had already established himself as one of the best basketball players in the world by becoming an NBA All-Star with the Chicago Bulls in consecutive years, 2012 through 2013, and leading Great Britain to the 2012 Olympics. Yet, during his rise to stardom, Deng felt a constant pull towards his homeland. South Sudan was always on my mind, he confessed. Upon retiring from professional basketball, Deng took on the role of president of the South Sudan Basketball Federation in 2019, driven by a singular mission to build a sustainable basketball culture in his native country. With little to no money coming in and the absence of a local basketball arena, Deng decided to personally fund his dream. Initially facing challenges in recruitment and team cohesion, he claimed players couldn't see the bigger picture. However, under Deng's leadership and guidance as head coach, the team, known as the Bright Stars, gradually came together. Their journey reached a pivotal moment with their participation in the AfroBasket 2021 qualifiers, where Deng focused on growing chemistry among players who had grown up thousands of miles apart. the team came up just short of qualifying for the Afrobasket tournament. Their dreams were shattered. Not long after, Deng's phone rang, and the team received some exciting news and a bit of luck. Algeria had pulled out due to COVID-related reasons. Deng was forced to scramble to assemble a team in less than a month. Once a team was thrown together, South Sudan shocked the world during this tournament by beating Kenya in the round of 16. In the next round, they met fierce competition and lost to Tunisia. But South Sudan had finally put themselves on the world basketball map. To celebrate this huge success, the team organized a trip to the South Sudan capital, Juba. Some of the players had been born abroad and had never been to South Sudan. The other players hadn't returned since they were very young. One player was able to meet his father for the first time, while another would finally see his mother after being separated for years. When they arrived at the Juba airport, the players couldn't believe their eyes. They were met with the cheers of thousands of people waving flags, holding signs, and singing their names. Jaflo Larkai, assistant coach of the team and lifelong friend of Luol Deng, was emotional over the event. He said, "It was incredible. This game of basketball is the great unifier for the country. It will stop conflicts and arguing. It doesn't matter what group you're from, what dialect you speak, everyone comes together for basketball." This beautiful sight of unity, pride, success, and hopefulness inspired others to step up, and the team compiled its strongest team in 2022. Luol stepped down from the coaching role and was replaced by the Houston Rockets assistant coach, Royal Ivey. The team added big pieces in Sunday Deck and Bol Kual. The team was ready for their next challenges in the 2023 FIBA World Cup qualifier. They went into the qualifier with a nothing to lose and everything to gain attitude. It became contagious throughout the young team. South Sudan was unbeatable and went 6-0 in the first round. This included beating defending African champions Tunisia twice. The winning continued in the second round, and they qualified for their first ever FIBA World Cup. In the FIBA World Cup, the team made history in their first appearance on the global stage when they ranked 17th in the FIBA standings. This allowed them to qualify directly for the 2024 Olympics because they were the African team that placed the highest.
Where we going? Paris! Where we going? Paris! Where we going? Paris!
A press conference interviewer asked small forward Nuni Ahmad, "What's the limit for South Sudan basketball?" He smiled and then confidently said, "Honestly, we don't have a limit. We can shoot for the stars, aim for the moon." The South Sudan team that arrived for this year's Olympics is clearly showing that they are still aiming for the moon. The country and its team are the youngest in the Olympics bracket, but you wouldn't know it by watching them. The roster has no current NBA players. ESPN described this team by saying, "They aren't as much Cinderellas as they are cast-offs, some of whom might be getting calls from NBA teams in the coming days." South Sudan beat Great Britain and went into USA's matchup as 43-point underdogs. But they only lost by 1 point. JT Thor, who made a three to almost seal the miracle upset, played for the Charlotte Hornets last year. He is currently out of contract, but with continued performances like that, should have no problem making a team next year. He scored 14 points in 18 minutes on the floor. The two players who absolutely stole the show were Marial Shayok and Carlik Jones. Shayok went 6 for 12 from three-point range and scored 24 points. He played 4 years in the NCAA for Virginia and Iowa State. He also played 4 games for the 76ers after being drafted in 2019. Carlik Jones, who looked like prime Russell Westbrook on Saturday, pulled a triple-double against a stacked USA squad. He scored 15 points, grabbed 11 rebounds, and had 11 assists. He recently worked on an agreement with the Serbian basketball club. NBA teams have a very small window to try to pursue Jones, though. Teams have until July 25th to speak with him before his Serbian club deal goes into effect. He's averaged an impressive double-double in the 2023 FIBA World Cup with 20 points and 10 assists. Wenyen Gabriel, who was a former Laker teammate of LeBron, scored 11 points and grabbed 6 rebounds. Despite the underdog status, this team has been flat-out impressive in the showcase games. And to think, this team was also supposed to include Bol, Manute Bol's son, but he pulled out last minute due to personal reasons. South Sudan has showed off their incredible speed, incredible athleticism, intense chemistry, and depth. But most importantly, The team plays with pride and purpose. The team was built from nothing with the help of Luol Deng. He bankrolled the team initially, but the team is finally starting to gain sponsorship offers. The exhibition game against the USA was a huge opportunity for visibility for the war-torn country. Deng believes this team has an opportunity to help bring this country together. He proclaimed, "There's 2 occasions that people have celebrated in South Sudan. One was our Independence Day, and the other was when we qualified for the Olympics and came back home. There's a lot of pride being the top team in Africa, and it's just the beginning." It will be exciting for all of us to watch this inspirational team continue to make waves once group play starts on July 28th, with the heart and hopes of a nation on its back.